Hey guys, this is the Study Control Panel, and in this video I'm going to show you how I use it every day to manage and track my studies. If you haven't get my free guide on study plan creation, I highly recommend you go check that first because this tracker works based on the ALAT planning framework we discussed in the planner. Here I have my goal for the year. This is my goal for my college entrance examination I'm taking in the next 3 months. This is the deadline. It tells me how much time I exactly have before the examination. Having a clear deadline is one of the great tools to beat procrastination. Having a countdown helps you become even more conscious of your time. Additionally, there is a quote block here for your motivation. It shows you new quotes by the great people of history every time you open this page. You know that sometimes what you need is just a wisely crafted sentence to get things done. Next, let's see the daily track. Each of these blocks in the daily track section are the last 10 days in your calendar. You can check your performance on each day individually for the record. And every time, the current day on which you're opening the template will be the first block. So let's click the first block and see my tasks and responsibilities for the day. Let's open it in full page. Here we have a digital clock, and also another quote block. You can refresh it, by the way, if you didn't like the quote. Now let's proceed to the main section of this tracker. This is the database which you use to track your daily activities of your study plan. Here is my yesterday's task list and performance as a reference. In the database, there's a list of the subjects you got to study on that day with the daily milestones you set for each. Then there is a checkbox you check when you complete a task. And the quantity property right here is a record of my exact quantity I covered studying on this day. It can be number of pages, number of lectures, or etc. Since no one is perfect, I may have covered less than my daily milestone. In that case, just checking the done checkbox won't be fair enough. And some other times I may hit more than my milestones. So writing the exact quantity makes our further calculations on the progress section pretty precise. So let's say I have hit exactly my milestone for today. 5 pages of my maths textbook, which means the progress property tells me that by hitting that milestone, I have progressed towards my goal by 0.5%. Let's check this out in a second. Let's go to the progress section. Right now, my study progress in maths is 23.4%. Let's say I have covered 10% of my material. The progress property shows me that that quantity is equivalent to 1% progress in that subject. Now when I go back to the progress section and see the summation of my progress, it shows me a 1% growth. This works for all of the subjects. Study the subjects in the priority order given. When you're done, check the Done checkbox and choose the exact quantity you covered. The next is the monthly tracker section. It's basically a calendar that shows your performance on each day of the month. In each day block, there are the list of the subjects you had to study on that day. Under each subject, there are only 2 number properties. The first one is the subject's priority order on your priority ladder of your subjects you created in the planner. The other number with the right sign next to it is a property that shows you how much quantity of your material you covered on that particular day. For example, let's take December 27th. I have only studied 1 page of my maths material. There isn't any number with a right sign under the other subjects, which means I haven't studied them. On December 28th, I studied 10 pages of maths only. On December 29th, I studied 2 pages of physics and 5 pages of maths. This way I can track and explore my overall progress of the months. Now let's see the final section of this template. It's the progress section. It has 2 small segments: the expected progress and the real progress. The expected progress shows you on what percentage you should have been if you had followed your ideal plan with perfection. But the truth is, nobody is perfect. You can't be always productive. This property shows you what your ideal progress should be if you want to achieve your goal in the deadline you're assigned to. Unlikely, the progress section tells the actual progress you are currently at. Each of these toggles show me my real-time progress on each subject. The main aim of this section is to give you the idea of how likely you are to achieve your goal by comparing your actual progress with your ideal progress. This is, for me, a great way to see where exactly I am regarding my goal and make decision about where I should input my effort based on real data. For instance, my expected progress for maths is 39.5%, but my actual progress is 24.4%. Now, since I have a clear insight of my status, my next action would be reorganizing my priorities and work to narrow down the difference between the two. So these are the main sections of the tracker: the goal, the daily track, the monthly tracker, and progress tracker.